Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be about feelings of guilt during or after a narcissistic relationship and how to help overcome those feelings of guilt. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw and this channel is all about the narcissist personality disorder, to give you more understanding of the people you might have been or are dealing with in your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to recover from narcissistic abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please join the community and subscribe. So when it comes to feelings of guilt, this is often something we would feel after we believe we've done something wrong, or we can feel it if we believe making a decision might be the wrong decision. Guilt can stop us from making a choice that we might feel guilty if we were to make that choice. And guilt can be felt whether we've done something wrong intentionally or unintentionally. Guilt can be felt whether we believe we are doing the right thing, but it also goes against our beliefs by doing that thing. Guilt can usually stop us from doing something that we need to do, as well as stop us from doing things that we shouldn't do. And also, after we've done something, guilt can stop us from repeating that same mistake. Being around a narcissist, narcissistic people really enjoy using the pity plays and guilt tripping people to break down people's boundaries and to gain control over somebody. Their guilt trips cause us to have low self-esteem and often a lot of self-doubt within our own abilities and our own actions and what would be the right or the wrong thing to do. A narcissist is very good at twisting the story to get their need met in the present. They will use something from your past to guilt trip you, or they will use something from your future that hasn't even happened yet to guilt trip you into meeting their own need in the present. They do guilt trip us so that we feel bad, we feel guilty, we break down our boundaries, or we work harder to please them, to apologise to them for the things that they've done to us. A narcissist guilt trip is passive aggressive manipulation. So we feel obligated into doing something that we wouldn't ordinarily do. They will say things like, if you loved me, you would. After all I've done for you, after everything I've done for this family, how do you think the children will feel? If only you've got no respect for me. I work so hard to provide for you. And often when we actually think about it, they provide very little. Shame is a very similar feeling to guilt, but shame is often a feeling that we've been guilt tripped into feeling. We are made to feel ashamed for who we are, or actions we may or may not have taken, or actions we are thinking of taking. A narcissist guilt trips us into shame to stop us doing what we should be doing and make us do what they want us to do, coercive, controlling us through our emotions of guilt and shame. When you're being humiliated or invalidated, this shames who you are as a person and creates that self-doubt within your mind, often working harder to gain the very person's approval who is shaming you into questioning yourself. Both emotions cause inner pain. Guilt is something that's easier to work on because it's often something that we may have done, that we can learn from our mistakes. Shame is often implanted into us by another, so it's finding the difference between the two and what is something that we need to learn from, and what is something that we've done, and what is something that we need to learn from, as in not taking the responsibility on of someone else's mistreatment of us or someone else's behaviour. Being responsible for our own actions and our own behaviour and our own feelings, and passing responsibility back to the rightful owner for theirs. When it comes to narcissistic people, they can intentionally and unintentionally hurt people. They often act on impulse, and if they've been criticised in some way, they can calculatedly seek revenge and intentionally hurt somebody back. Yet they will still expect you to apologise for their behaviour. They will blame you for the pain they've caused you. You might not have done anything to hurt them in the first place. They just perceive something as criticism, so set out to hurt you. Therefore, they escape any feelings of guilt by blaming you for your own pain. They escape any feelings of shame by passing that responsibility over to you for your pain, so they can escape accountability for the things that they do to you. They lack the cognitive reflection skills to see what they may have done wrong, where we can end up ruminating and overanalyzing and overthinking our actions and question ourselves to try and work out what direction we should go in. A narcissist simply passes the blame over to other people, and that's it, they've dealt with it. Anything else that's for you to deal with. A narcissist has that sense of entitlement, so they believe they are allowed to do as they please, and they are envious of other people, so they will bring other people down to raise themselves up. However, they lack the empathy to care for those they hurt along the way. They are happy to exploit people to get their needs met, but they don't have those same feelings of guilt because they don't have the empathy to care for what they have done. They might feel shame if they believe they could potentially be humiliated by other people's perceptions of their behaviour, which is why they pass the blame over to escape those feelings of shame. The more we forgive a narcissist, the more it teaches them that they can carry on their hurtful ways towards us. Their arrogance allows them to see that, well, the problem is within us, not them. The more we care for them, the more we try to help them, the more they will try to bring us down. And if we try to explain to them, the more they will invalidate us, patronise us, criticise us, judge us, guilt trip us, gaslight us, project and blame shift. With a narcissist, whether or not they intentionally set out to hurt someone, whether or not they are aware of their behaviour, the fact remains they lack the empathy to care for how their behaviour might hurt another person. Their belief that they're special, their sense of entitlement and their grandiosity and their arrogance means they care for how their actions might be perceived by others and might impact them in a way they don't want their lives impacting, why they blame other people and leave us with the feelings of the shame for their behaviour, their actions, their hurtful ways towards us. Often why when a narcissist is caught cheating, if you've looked through their phone, they will twist the blame onto you for looking through their phone. How dare you look through my phone? How can I trust you? Why do you not trust me? When it comes to overcoming guilt, we have to remember we are allowed to make mistakes. We are allowed to make errors in judgment. We are allowed to go against our values. Guilt is usually a regret for something that we believe we've done wrong. And guilt is often conditioned in us due to our beliefs or our values. Our beliefs are our trust or our faith within situations. Our values are our integrity, our right from wrong, our respect, treating people how we expect to be treated. Responsibility, taking responsibility for our own actions, our own behaviour, our own thoughts, our own feelings. Justice, righting wrongdoings. We can have reactive guilt where we have acted against our beliefs or our values. Anticipation guilt where we have a difficult choice that goes against our beliefs, but our beliefs or values are causing us pain, but we need to go against those beliefs or values to escape that pain, but that might also cause us pain. So that anticipation of guilt can stop us from making the right choice for us. And we can have feelings of guilt from external sources where we believe that justice has not been served. When it comes to overcoming guilt, we have to accept a few things, like we are allowed to make mistakes in life. Mistakes are how we learn. We are allowed to make errors in judgment. We don't always know when we enter into things what we are entering into. Once we've made a mistake and learned from that mistake, we then have some form of awareness, unless we are gaslighted into not being aware. We are allowed to go against our values and our beliefs if our values and beliefs are keeping us trapped in a place that we should not be. If they are causing us pain, we are allowed to step away from those. So if we always believe that we would have a secure family unit for our children, but the family home isn't a happy home, we are allowed to break down that family unit to create a happy home and stick with the belief that we want a happy home for our children. It doesn't matter how that happy home appears, our belief needs to be we want the happy home. We are allowed to let go of people that bring us pain. We are allowed to let go of guilt. We are allowed to pass responsibility back to the rightful owner for the things they have done to us. We are allowed to let go of those people who are not there for us. We are allowed to let go of those people who are committed to not understanding us and to hurting us and using us and exploiting us. When it comes to removing the feelings of guilt, you have to look at what your true intentions were behind whatever action you took at that moment in time. Regardless of what you know differently afterwards, what were your intentions at that moment in time? And you're allowed to feel anger. Don't feel guilty for being angry when someone has provoked you or misused you, mistreated you, duped you. You are allowed those feelings of anger. Those feelings of anger are to teach us. So it's tuning into our emotions so that we can listen to our instincts for future. We might not have been able to see in the present. Only once out of the situation can we get the clarification of what we've been through, and then we just learn from the mistake and learn to release the guilt and let the guilt go. You are allowed to forgive yourself for things that you did not know. You are allowed to forgive yourself for staying in a situation believing you were doing your best, not realizing that it wasn't working for you at that time. Guilt, if you don't let go, can eat into your present and it can eat into your future. So counselling might be needed depending on how you can handle it. Again, finding the right therapist for you. I shall link the other video that I did on guilt that just goes into a bit more detail. Thank you very much to everyone for listening. If anyone has any advice on how they overcame the feelings of guilt, please add those into the comments, because you never know who that might help. I shall also link the video for overcoming anger and resentment, because that can often lead to feelings of guilt also. Thank you very much for listening. Bye.